Buy, borrow, die. This is how the rich avoid taxes. Smart asset. Investing money can help you build wealth, but taxes can take a big bite out of your earnings. Following a buy, borrow, die strategy is one way to minimize your tax liability and preserve more of your wealth. The concept. Continue reading right pointing arrow. The post buy, borrow, die. How the Rich Avoid Taxes appeared first on Smart Asset blog. Below are your comments. After reading the article, it just reminds me of how turbulent these markets can be. I'm grateful for the guidance I've received over the years. Few months ago, I secured a profit of $150,000 in just 3 months from a particular stocks pick. Sometimes, it's less about predicting the market's moves and more. Contrary to what you've been told, the rich do not avoid paying taxes. In fact, almost all government tax revenue comes from taxes on the rich. Taxes paid by the top 10% make up 71% of all tax revenue. The top 25% earners pay 87%. On the flip side, the bottom 50% pay 3% of tax revenue. No magical formula here. If your portfolio gains and interest can cover the payments of the thing you're buying and leverage in G against while you live large on borrowed money, that you can use that to continue the buying and paying for stuff. Eventually you have to sell for a profit. Don't try this. Great idea except for last part. This is Economics 101. Give us a better strategy. I just spoke to a financial advisor representative and asked him the following. If a person had $1 million in assets January 1st of this year with your company, what would that person have now? And his reply was probably about. People always act like owning real estate has only the upside of appreciating value. First, appreciation is not stable or guaranteed. Ever see an abandoned building by the side of the road? It depreciated, didn't it? Real estate is also subject to biannual real estate taxes. Often in the 2%. Next news. Fidelity rolls out suite of new ETFs, slashes fees. Reuters. Fidelity launched a group of 6 new exchange-traded funds, ETFs, Monday and announced sharp reductions on management fees on nearly a third of its total ETF lineup, kicking off what analysts expect to be another strong week for ETF debuts. So far this year, asset managers have launched 419 ETFs, according to Morningstar Direct, taking 202.3 a step closer toward breaking the 2021 record of 475 new ETFs. Among them, ARK Invest and 21 Shares AG will roll out a group of 5 actively managed ETFs tied to Bitcoin and Ethereum futures as well as blockchain technology on Tuesday and Wednesday. Below are your comments. My friend allowed Fidelity to manage her portfolio. It costs $5,000 a year. They placed her in 10 Fidelity ETFs with an average fee of 0.38%. That boosted her costs to $6,400 a year for funds that have deeply lost ground to an S&P index fund that carries a fee of 0.02%. I invest with Fidelity as W. They need to lower the fees on their money market accounts. Vanguard has a lot lower fee with comparable interest rates. I used to work for a mutual fund company, and all these funds and ETFs, it's such a racket. Most, and I mean 75+% of them over time won't even come close to beating the S&P 500, and you get to pay higher fees for that underperformance. You're so much better off putting your money into SPY or ITS. Would it have been very hard to name the new funds and give the symbols? Next news. How to turn a $200,000 investment into $1 million. Smart asset. If you're ready to invest $200,000, or something close to it, with the goal of turning it into $1 million, this article will help you understand your options and focus your investment strategy. If you're not sure what you should do, continue reading. Right pointing arrow. The post How to Invest $200,000 and Turn It into $1 Million appeared first on Smarta's set blog. Below are your comments. Just read the article, and it resonates with my own journey. Started with a modest $150,000 investment and, with the right guidance, I'm now looking at a portfolio worth over $1.2 million in just under 3 years. It's amazing how achievable goals become when you mirror the trades of someone who real. Best investment is to apply the money to your campaign and get elected. Many of the longtime politicians get very rich through their connections and use of insider information. Invest in a diversified portfolio. Sit back and wait 17 to 28 years. Somewhere in that timeframe will likely get you to the million. Problem is that it will likely only be worth someplace between $400,000 $600,000 in today's dollars. The S&P 500 or its equivalents produce 9% CAGR in nearly any 20-year period since 1871. By rule of 72, that doubles every 8 years. About 19 years to get to $1 million on $200,000 basis. Value investing is a better way, but takes more dedication, psychology, discipline, and knowledge. Think Warren Buffett and B. Next news. Stellantis to offer buyout and early retirement packages to 6,400 U.S. non-union salaried workers. As Associated Press Finance. Stellantis said Monday it will offer buyout or early retirement packages to about 6,400 non-union U.S. salaried employees as the auto industry faces what the company is calling challenging market conditions. The offers, which include what the company said is a favorable benefits package, will go to workers who would like to leave the company or retire to pursue other interests. Stellantis said it has about 12,700 U.S. salaried workers who are not union members. Below are your comments. More cars are going to be made in China. No one's fault, but it is long-term plan. By not too far off in the future they will pick up traction in the market. There are people that do not need a truck, or a Lincoln, or a Cadillac, just a dependable car with good mileage and most of the conveniences. A former UAW member looking for a job. Stellantis is preparing for the inevitable shrinking of their North American operations. They stuffed their dealerships with high-end vehicles of all kinds, and the traditional buyers of the IR products are being blown out of the market. How many dealerships can survive this? My advice is for them to beginning of the end for Chrysler. Got increased pay now and now losing your job. What did I say all along? HHAHHHAHHAA! Exclamation mark. The workers must feel like lemons. Exclamation mark. Dot. Next news. Dow Jones gains despite Johnson debt plan hurdles. Cathie Wood buys this stock amid 22% plunge. Investors Business Daily. The Dow Jones was up even as House Speaker Johnson met resistance over debt. Cathie Wood snapped up a plunging stock. Tesla stock rallied. Below are your comments. Becoming a millionaire isn't as challenging as it seems. Speaking from my own journey, if you're earning and have a steady income, you can build it up slowly over the years. No bragging, but I hit the $1.5 million milestone last month. I decided to invest 70% of my assets in Dividend and Growth Street. It's the same problem as always. Everybody agrees we should decrease the deficit, but the programs that make up most of the budget are popular. So nobody knows what to do. We could definitely cut stuff, but taxes have to go up. I say this as a high earner who will see higher taxes. I also say it. You would think with an election coming up somebody would take a step back and ask why the heck we keep playing this kick the can game where something that shouldn't even happen once a year keeps happening multiple times a year. It terrorizes the many citizens' lives who depend on the government too. So here we are barreling up to a government shutdown once again. Let's see who blinks first this time. Cathie Wood bought something. Just run away. And hide. Next news. 3 REITs that beat estimates and received analyst upgrades. Benzinga. Within the past 2 weeks, many real estate investment trusts, REITs, have defied lowered expectations from Wall Street by announcing third-quarter earnings that either met or exceeded the estimates or showed improvement from the third quarter of 2022. Share prices usually rise when companies report improved earnings, and if analyst upgrades follow, they often boost the price even further. Take a look at 3 REITs, from 3 different REIT subsectors that beat consensus estimates and have Below are your comments. Broadstone Net Lease, ticker BNL, should also be on this list. Great dividend payout, covers their dividend by a wide margin and has the best portfolio in the NA lease sector. All the drugstore, convenience store and bank branch closings coming are going to really hurt Realty income, not E. Let's start with Welltower. They claim to be doing good, but they are just a fraud. Look at Hindenburg report from last summer. Serious losses by their SR care operator. 20 million never shares issued without a deal in hand. Who does that? Essex operates in 2 states that are losing residents and who would want to invest in a REIT these days? You'll be upside down 10 plus years. Only high growth in Southern California is from illegal immigrants. Next news. Consumer prices were unchanged in October. Core inflation rises at slowest pace since September 2021. Yahoo Finance. October's CPI report is one of the most important data points the Federal Reserve will consider in its next interest rate decision. Below are your comments. It may be slower progress on inflation, but it has been compounding since 2021. I could safely say we are paying anywhere from 20% to 40% more for everyday items such as insurance, home, auto, health, food, gas, property taxes, etc. since 2020. So they exclude food and energy when it makes the number look bad, but include it when energy prices fall for a month and make the numbers look better. Inflation expected to have ticked down in October amid falling gas prices. I did not think gas prices were included in the CPI calculation. Even with inflation at 3.3%, the probability of a drop in interest rates is low. Anything that you finance today will be much higher than 3.3% because of elevated interest rates. If you are a saver, then you have to love getting over 5% on your money for little or no risk. The real reason inflation is so high is because of government spending. GDP would have been zero last quarter had it not been for government spending. Next news. Can I switch a Social Security benefit to a spousal benefit? Smart Asset. Social Security benefits can provide you with a stream of retirement income that is reliable. Deciding when to take benefits is an important question, especially if you're married and hope to qualify for spousal benefits. If you're already taking social, continue reading right pointing arrow. The post rules for switching Social Security benefits appeared first on Smartass blog. Below are your comments. There is one thing that is not made clear in this article that should be. If you take benefits before full retirement age, and are able to switch to a spousal benefit later, you will still get a reduced benefit for the rest of your life because SSA calculates the spousal. Delaying benefits until age 70, on the other hand, increases your benefit amount. This is not accurate. Waiting until you are 70 will increase the monthly benefit but may actually reduce one's total benefit. For instance, if one waits until 70 and dies at 72, the overall benefit will be reduced. The Social Security Administration will automatically switch you to a spousal benefit when your spouse, say, takes theirs at FRA, if the amount you're getting previous is the lesser of the two. Question. Next news. Is your retirement income higher than the average in America? Smart Asset. Wondering how your retirement savings stack up to other Americans' nest eggs? Or whether your income in your post-work years will be enough to keep you afloat? It's normal to be curious about the average retirement income in the U.S. Continue reading. Right pointing arrow. The post "What is the average retirement income?" appeared first on Smart Asset blog. Below are your comments. It appears that many of the articles in Yahoo Finance lately are very thinly disguised promotions are the services of financial advisors. It certainly makes me question Yahoo's objectivity and also makes me wonder if they are somehow getting compensation for these articles. It all depends on what state that you live in. The cost varies widely for different parts of the country. Let me clarify or qualify my comment with the following. At 74, I've been retired for 6 years. This article contains a lot of good information but still seems to be a sales ad for financial advice. Ors. Average SS check, $1,827. From that check you need to pay for Medicare. $165 a month per person. Please wait a moment. I'm planning to move to Lake Wobegon when I retire, where all the retirees have above average income. Me. Whatever that may be. Next news. Rivian to raise nearly $15 billion in debt for EV plant in Georgia. Reuters. The taxable bonds would be issued by the Georgia Department of Economic Development and the Joint Development Authority of Jasper, Morgan, Newton and Walton counties, according to an agreement on November 9, it said in a securities filing, adding that Rivian has agreed to purchase bonds as they are issued. The company has agreed to pay a minimum of nearly $300 million in property tax payments through 2047. Rivian had said in 2021 that it plans to set up the Georgia plant and had said at the time that it would be commissioned by 2024. Below are your comments. Ponder this for a moment. A U.S. company is building a U.S.-based factory to hire U.S. workers to produce a U.S. product to sell to U.S. consumers. The financials are immense, but why are so many Americans opposed to U.S. companies growing and expanding within this country? Tesla had more debt and less cash at same stage of production. And that worked out well. Got to be insane. POMP and DOMP. Can't understand the article. GA buying bond, RIVN paying $300 million yearly property tax if volume reach 400K. Can't you write more clear to understand article? Next news. FTX employee recruited by Sam Bankman-Fried wants $275,000 bonus. Bloomberg. A former Jane Street trader recruited by Sam Bankman-Fried to assist in FTX's charitable giving is fighting to get the rest of his 2022 bonus while denying that he had any knowledge of the fallen crypto mogul's fraud before the company collapsed last year. Most read from Bloomberg. Biden, Xi to Ano. UN's China's crackdown on fentanyl trade. Wall Street divided over just how aggressive Fed cutting will. UBS strategists see far deeper Fed rate cuts than what markets are pricing. Thailand tea. Below are your comments. He can go to the back of the line after the investors get their money back first. Bonus ha. Wow, a $275,000 bonus for giving away money that didn't belong to FTX in the first place. That must be a very trying job to have. Okay, a trying job to have had. I mean, how could the bankruptcy administrator not approve that one? Sounds like he should be more worried about being able to keep the money he was paid. You still want bonus from a sham. What kind of IQ the attorney has taking this case? He will be dead last in long line of creditors. Next news. Stock market news today. Stock futures soar after cool inflation print. Yahoo Finance. The October inflation reading is seen as likely to influence the Fed's thinking on what's next for interest rates. Below are your comments. Inflation rate can stop going up. CPI never goes down. Which means groceries, gas, and going out to eat. Think $18 to $20 hamburger and fries before tip. Is here to stay and is crushing most folks. Stop printing money. Stop the crisis bailouts. Balance the budget. Let's celebrate. Inflation is only double the target now. It has only taken us how long to get here? How long will it take to cut it in half again? And with the spending the government is doing and the expanding of our national debt, when do you think we will see inflation really go down? Sometimes you use inflation number, sometimes you use core inflation number. All depends on which one helps. Propaganda has zero impact on mortgage rates. Zero impact on debt. And the consumer isn't going to notice his standard of living has changed for the better under Joe. Just the opposite. Inflation cooling? Next news. One of Wall Street's biggest bears says a huge crash is coming as markets are in the biggest credit bubble in history. Business Insider. Low rates inflated the biggest credit bubble in history and it could burn down the whole forest if it bursts, hedge fund manager Mark Spitznagel said. Below are your comments. I have a friend who owes about $800,000 total for a house and 2 new cars they bought in the last 5 years. They make about $115,000, take home almost $8,000 a month, but their payments are $7,500. They go into more debt each month to maintain their lifestyle and kids. Barely holding on. Upper M. If we are in a credit bubble, we have to let it burst and let people lose. No bailouts, no stimulus, no lowering interest rates, none of the stuff that pushes off debt-heavy people's burden onto the self-reliant savers. You just have to let the losers lose. There is a bubble, and it is not just on homes, it is an everything bubble. The everything bubble will pop. As long as people are working and the only retirement plans available are 401 kiloseconds, I don't see how the market won't be kept propped up. Next news. How much cash can I expect to get each month from a $100,000 annuity? Benzinga. Annuities are a popular choice for retirement planning, offering a steady income stream. But how much can you expect each month from a $100,000 annuity? This depends on several factors including age, annuity type, and contract specifics. Engaging a financial advisor can give a more accurate estimate based on your personal financial circumstances. For instance, a $100,000 annuity purchased at age 65 with immediate payments might yield about $614 monthly. If the annuity has a 5% interest rate over 10. Below are your comments. Couldn't I just put the money in an account and make monthly withdrawals based upon the amount of time I am expected to live? And then save the fees? The only risk is if I live longer. But maybe I won't need the money then anyway. Does an annuity do anything other than structure withdrawals and take? They had an identical article on here last week, except it was for a $50,000 annuity. Just doubled the amounts and bam, new article. Has AI replaced the writers here? Next news. Plug Power CEO, we feel pretty confident, despite investor concerns. Yahoo Finance. Plug Power CEO Andy Marsh painted a rosier picture of the company's outlook in an interview with Yahoo Finance. Below are your comments. The CEO needs to be replaced. We are very confident is likely a true statement. We feel confident is probably a lie to cover up that bad things are happening that they want to pretend they misunderstood later when things blows up. They can plea ignorance. I remember back in the early 2000s when Apple was $7 and going bankrupt. H2 has a future. Hopefully Plug Power can navigate the financial challenges and make the correct decisions for its shareholders. Pretty confident doesn't really sound pretty confident. It's about making a profit. They shouldn't be having to raise cash. Next news. Fed rate cuts are likely soon, even without a U.S. recession. Here's why. Barron's.com. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell may say it's still too early for him to talk about interest rate cuts. As Louis Vincent gave from Gavical Research put it in a note Tuesday. Rate hikes are like tequila shots. One never knows when one's had enough until one's had too much. Goldman Sachs, which has been more optimistic about the economy than most, doesn't see rates dropping that far. But it still sees them getting below 4%. Below are your comments. 2021 Barron's, Fed rate cuts soon. Powell, nope. 2022 Barron's, definitely now for sure. Powell, nope. 2023 Barron's, come on, now right? Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.